I know that there's nothing to kind of back that up, but my prejudice tells me that a person from a certain area in the world is better at doing something than other stuff. Same type of prejudice a white employer could have, that they would feel like a black or a person of color is not that, but it's prejudice. It's a question of prejudice, but the problem is the systematic thing of it, which is the white supremacy. I mean, as you just said, like there is a inferiority like a complex, or an inferiority feeling that people of that are not white have, and that exists for a reason, and that will directly translate to superiority on the other side for the ones that are not really
Okay.
educated enough.
So you mean when I say that it's just normal for a white person to look at job applications and be more inclined to giving a job to somebody who has a name that sounds familiar to him,
There's truth to that. There's truth to that.
that is not familiarity. That is instead superiority
There is
complex.
familiarity in certain cases, but I know that if a person has that superiority feeling, which exists, there is a reason to it as well. Like, if you look back and study history, that's what white people have been told wherever they went. Like, they have always that story, and it's not just with color, it came with the religion more, like Christianity, white Christians. That's where it was, and the reason why Christians in the Middle East, the whole this whole Islamophobia that is rising today is based on that same what do you call it, the religion division that they've made at the time, where they made it so that the Christian, the more white you are, the more Christian you are, the more Muslim you are. Like, it's a crusader mentality, and it still kind of exists today. But I'm not saying I agree with you. I feel like being here in the West for as long as I have right now kind of makes me see it to that extent, especially in Sweden. I don't know how it is in other countries, but I know here it's not. I don't think racism. It's like people are educated enough for
Yeah,
them not to be
exactly. And
racist.
this is where a discrepancy comes about between American society and like Swedish society, let's say, or the European society. I do not think in practice that like this superiority complex and inferiority complex exists to that extent,
Mm.
because
You're
I
saying specifically in this
yeah,
society.
because I do not think that anybody who is mediocrely educated can say or can feel that a white person is like white people in general are would be better than them at a specific job, or smarter than them, or something like that. I know
The
that
question
exists
is
in
what kind
certain.
of education, right? I
But at the
discovered
same
this
time, it could be
recently.
I'm privileged. It could be that I'm
You're right.
privileged. At the
No, but
same
you're
time, it
right.
could
I
be I'm
agree with
privileged.
you. I
Huh?
agree with you fully. In
Hmm?
Sweden, people are too educated. They're too smart to be dumb racist. Although, and when you say people, it's like, feeling like a victim and actually living a victim life. Like knowing that a lot of your friends in school have much more money than you, and like
Yeah,
then you're
that's a
struggling
different
in
thing.
life.
That's a different
Those,
thing.
no, no, listen. My point is that there's the white people that are living this life, lifestyle. It's much easier for them to fall into this kind of thinking. That's where what these parties, specific parties like AFD, the groups of people that they are targeting are those, like, the low income white people. It's easy to feel wronged, and
Inferior.
feel hateful, and like buy into a hateful rhetoric. Exactly. If you So I'm not talking about those people, but the rest, the majority of the Swedish society are not a dumb racist, but again, I feel like racism is the same thing as being a jealous person or being an envious person, and so on and so forth. It's a characteristic, it's a character flaw.
Yeah.
The reason how the way that you fix that is by focusing on well-being, like being trying to do good and be good, think good, and so on and so forth. I feel like this is also like, racism. When you look racism in the Arabic countries, these I feel like this becomes more clearer, where you have a thing like Islam that directly forbids things like racism, but you still see racism in specific places, and in those places, I feel like it's beyond at that point what you think or believe. It's just about how you are as a person. The more, like, good you are, is the more of a Muslim you are, and the less racist you are. But
Does
yeah,
racism come about? Do you mean like racism comes about?
it's like you feeling, you falling into your negative and accepting your negative sides ultimately. Like, if you really openly accept that you're racist, you also most likely will accept that you are envious, or you that you lie, or that you, like, talk behind people's back. It's like, if you accept a negative characteristic for you and actually identify with it, then that's a character flaw.